remember long ago another starry night like this. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, surrender. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I can't say TGIF because tomorrow's my Friday. So, yeah. Anyway, your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here with the common sense and random shit show because it's still a shit show. I'm just saying. And right off the bat, I gotta say, breaking news, this is not the place for the 2 or 3 of you that are watching, if you're watching, because nobody watches me. Anyway, it is what it is, but it's whatever. Sooner or later, more people will watch this guy talking shit about the left. Because it is what it is, as I keep saying. Yeah, I know I say it a lot. I should get a shirt. It is what it is. But, yeah, anyway, it's Friday. And, I know I promised or I said yesterday that I wasn't going to mention that piece of shit. We all know who I'm talking about. But there were Laura Ingraham and Rachel Campos Duffy, who is, I believe, married to Sean Duffy, Secretary of Transportation, I think. I don't know, I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that they were married. Duffy. Anyway, let's get to some pictures first. Let's talk. This is not a picture. Just saying. It looks like a picture, but it's not moving. But it moves. So it's not a picture. I made a mistake. But anyway, I saw this on TikTok yesterday. And knowing ScrewTube, they're probably going to mute it because YouTube ScrewTube is screwed up. They muted partial of my video yesterday, and I have to say I apologize. I'm only streaming on ScrewTube and Rumble. YouTube may go away because they tend to mute shit that Rumble doesn't, that they have on, and I download or whatever. But anyway, this was on TikTok, and I'm surprised somebody didn't, because all this censorship and muting is bullshit. Social media, just saying. But this AI is the shit. Watch the picture in the background. I mean, this is, whoever did this is pretty cool. It's a Reagan dancing. Yeah. Anyway, that was not a picture. Yeah, somebody posted that on TikTok, and I was like, I gotta share. This is freaking cool. Forgot who it was, but that's pretty cool. YouTube, it's on TikTok, and they didn't block it, so please stop your bullshit. You know. And yesterday my video got shut down because, as I said before, every time I do Facebook, you know, all 3, Rumble, YouTube, ScrewTube, and Facebook, something happens. I mean, I don't understand Facebook, you know. But that's it, no more. I don't even know why I have it anymore. I mean, I originally started my Facebook for the martial arts thing, and I got a pretty decent following. And then I kind of switched up format, and Facebook's with the bullshit. But anyway, pictures. Meet John. John credits The View with saving his life. After John had been in a coma for almost 3 months, a nurse came in and turned his hospital TV to The View. John got up and changed the channel. Imagine that. Yeah. Breaking. AOC took 5 private jets across the U.S. in the past week, costing taxpayers over $77,000 for only 5 hours of travel. Yeah, you want to go after the oligarchy, huh? But living like an oligarchy. I'm just saying. Just remember, when the time comes, while you were teaching your children to be tolerant of others' beliefs, these people were training their children how to kill yours. Facts. Just saying. yeah, that's enough pics. Recent events. As I said, breaking news is not the place. So if you're looking for breaking news, I have somebody that you can go to that I always like watching his videos. Very smart. I always come out smarter. I'll get to that in a second. Recent events. Check it out.
Many on the hard right inside the church were shocked that this Pope would actually borrow from Jesus Christ and living that simple life. His legacy was remarkable in that Jesus reached out to those who were shunned by religious leaders in society, the lepers, the tax collectors. And with France's conservatives, many conservatives inside the church hated him for being Christ-like in that respect, just as the religious leaders of his day hated Jesus. But Francis was unbowed in being inclusive while following the word of the Gospels.
I'm going to have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
Many conservatives inside the church hated him for being Christ-like.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, it was made for a younger adult or younger kids and all that to reach each other and have a little community or whatever of their own. And obviously a lot of adults took over, pedophiles, sick people, and apparently they couldn't catch up or keep up with all the pedophiles on there trying to get with kids. And for some reason my screen keeps freezing, so if I freeze up, again, sorry. The internet's spotty sometimes. I'm hoping it doesn't. But anyway, but let's be honest, MySpace was the shit. I used to be able to change the background, put music. I wish Facebook did that. And nobody said, they didn't censor shit. But, obviously at the time, they didn't know any better. But so I get it. But social media. Where would we be right now if it wasn't for Elon Musk buying X and the free speech and stopping the bullshit that Twitter had before he bought it, censoring, blocking. I mean, come on, ban Trump, the president, active president. Third world shit, I'm saying. But Elon and a few others, Rumble, social media, if it wasn't for these brave patriots that did what they did with social media or for social media and people like me and others that are a lot more famous than me, putting the truth out there, over beating some of the censorship and getting through, we'd be screwed. Let's be real, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have Snapchat because that's kind of gay, but whatever. If you're not gay, sorry. But I have Insta, but I don't really go on there much. I have X. I don't go on there as much either. I don't have a lot of followers. It doesn't matter. But I follow this guy. But, social media may have been the downfall to a lot, but it's also been our savior. So we got to give some thanks to that. But anyway, meme the left. This is perfect example. Social media, just saying.
done it, Republicans. In one fell swoop, you pushed my mental health over the line. Now, fucking die.
You chose poorly.
We accept your terms. Please proceed.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
You're amazing!
Oh God, I think you're amazing.
Oh my God, don't ever leave me.
Ever.
Good. Cause I'd find you.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that. We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
Meme the left. They're easy to meme. As I said earlier, breaking news. This is not the place. So, please mind me. This is me, solo dolo, as always. Everything by myself. So I gotta look for stuff. Tip, 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 tap, tap on my phone. This is the guy. You should subscribe to DeVory Darkins. Every time there's current events, his take on it. Not pressuring, not saying believe it, believe it. I always come on smarter. Subscribe to him. I always say I never expect him to mention me at all because we're totally two different shows. I make fun of the bullshit. He talks about real shit. So, just saying, do your research. He'll say the same thing. Do your research before you talk shit. And I don't have a video today. Walkaway. Hashtag Walkaway. Look them up. They have a good app. A lot of good videos. Informative. Helps you research. Helps you see people coming from their heart, their soul, as to why they're leaving the Democratic Party. There was a few videos that I posted before that were like, wow, very impactful, that I'm hoping somebody I know personally is on the fence, is like, whoa, shit, that's real. But it is what it is. Anyway, and if you haven't yet, follow me on Rumble. If you don't have Rumble, shame on you. I want to run my conservatives, no censorship. This might be the only platform I may be going live soon, as soon as I get my computer up to date or fixed, whatever, or get one, whatever, if I can afford one. Because ScrewTube, as I said, is acting funny. They muted, like I said, I got cut off yesterday, and then they muted part of it, so I just deleted the video. So if you were looking for this guy and saying, oh my God, no, he's not on, and losing your shit, for me, sorry, can't do nothing. Anyway, enough of that, and or is it? Wah! TikTok. Like my mom says, the conservative ex-con. ScrewTube is the Common Sense and Random Poop Show. Or just Google, the Common Sense and Random Shit Show. You'll find me. You'll find my videos. Let me get rid of this. Now, as I was saying, social media, liberal media, and conservatives. Laura Ingraham. I watch her all the time. And I gotta say, I like that when she has conservatives or liberals on. She attacks. She asks the right questions. Sometimes she doesn't get the answers she's looking for, but we see it. We see where she's going with it. So if you have common sense, you'll agree. But she had one of these, I'm not sure who it was, either a senator or congresswoman, two genders. And she got it, and she had it. Check this out. This is awesome.
What process do you think is still due an individual who 2 courts found had reasonable belief to believe he had an affiliation with MS-13, who his wife initially said had scratched her and caused a bruising on her body? What process would make you feel like the Constitution and our framers' understanding of it would be fulfilled?
So, Laura, you and I can disagree on, this individual in particular. I'm not here to really advocate for one person. That needs to happen in court. No evidence has actually ever been presented.
You went to El Salvador. Now you're saying it's not about him? Of course it's about him.
Due process.
You went to El Salvador for a political stunt, and now you're saying it's not about him.
It is about this case. Laura, it is about the rule of law. This is a bipartisan issue. It transcends partisan politics. That's why a conservative-leaning Supreme Court has said that Donald Trump must facilitate the return of this individual. This is very dangerous. We are turning into an authoritarian country, and there are Americans from all across the political spectrum who are deeply concerned about this. Again, my office has not received more calls about any other issue since I have been a congresswoman than this one, tariffs being the second one, and the lack of real logical economic policy. But the issue of due process, no, these are the economy. When we had a town hall the other night, this is the issue. And the economy is a mess as well, unfortunately, under this administration. So
before we go, Congresswoman, also in Maryland, I know American citizens and crimes committed against them might not be a top priority. It is for this show. An illegal alien from Guatemala was just charged with his girlfriend's murder in Maryland, same state, of course, Mr. Abrego Garcia is from. She was missing for 2 weeks, mother of 2 young kids. Police found her buried in a forest. Do you know about this story? Do your constituents care about those victims? And do you intend on calling that family, since Maryland residents are obviously a concern in some way, shape, or form for you and all the people of your state?
I am appalled by any violence that takes place in this country. As a former city official, I have a very strong pro-public safety record, and that's why I believe in the rule of law, and that's why this case is so important. I think these questions are a distraction from the main issue, which is that Donald Trump is defying the Supreme Court of the United States, and every American should be concerned about this.
Well, the violence committed by illegal immigrants against innocent Americans and legal immigrants has been appalling.
It is devastating.
Absolutely appalling.
Any violence,
and I wish there was one moment where
in this
Democrats
country
acted like they cared about that. I know this is the progressive way of dealing with interviews where you just, I'm not trying to talk over you. I'm actually trying to get a question answered. I asked you a simple question. What process is due Mr. Abrego Garcia in the United States that you believe he has not received or could receive if he's undeported, which is the Democrats' priority? Undeport him, bring him back here. What process do you want him to receive that would make you happy and feel good? Could he ever be deported?
It's very clear. The Supreme Court says return him, and in court we can have a discussion about what action should be taken.
No.
This administration admitted they made a mistake.
He doesn't matter to you.
This administration admitted that they made a mistake in deporting Mr. Garcia.
I think
this is a fact, Laura. Unfortunately, you're not
story
sticking to the facts of the case, which is that
I know the facts. Actually,
he made a mistake.
I've been very clear on the facts. Yeah. Well, Congresswoman, if you want to come on the show, we'd love to have you back.
I believe in the Supreme Court.
But you don't. Right. But if he's, I will just say this on the show, and you can come back. Just wait. Take a breath. If he comes back, let's say he is undeported, and the Democrats are happy about that. If he's undeported, he will be deported from the United States. That will make you miserable, correct? That'll set off a whole new firestorm, because what you care about is an illegal immigrant's rights to be here ad infinitum.
This is a union
you don't want him
member, a
deported.
person
That's
with
the
a
real
U.S.
story.
citizen, wife. Yeah. This is a person who the Supreme Court has said needs to be facilitated back to the United States. That's a fact.
We got it. We got it. You will never support the deportation of this individual. That is the truth.
Wow. Come on. Wow. That's Laura. That's why I watch these people. That's what I'm talking about. You know what that is? That is boom. Number one. There's another one. But seriously though, right questions, wrong answers. These people have no clue. They have no common sense. I know you're tired of hearing this shit. Slight change of subject, sort of. Tim Pool, I've mentioned it before. I watched Tim Pool. I don't watch him all the time, but I know he was sort of a liberal, ex-Democrat, whatever it was, until Trump came along and he woke up. He's not completely a Republican because, let's be real, as Dan Bongino says, Republicans may not be the solution to all your problems, but the Democrats are sure as hell the cause of them. So not all Republicans are good. There's a lot of rhinos, a lot of, anti-Trumpers in there. But he says it how it is. And guess what? He was let in at the White House press pool. And holy shit. I have a few questions. If I were to ever be allowed in there, trust me, I'm going to write them down because my questions are in here. But they have to do with people with my past and ex-convicts not being able to ever live in a successful life. Me, unless you do something really spectacular, which I'm trying to do. Anyway, yeah, Tim Pool, check this out. They hate him for this. Oh my God. Liberal media, social media. If it wasn't for social media, where would Tim Pool be? Just saying. Seriously though, check this out.
Many of these organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by 2 different judges, I believe, is just simply being referred to as a Maryland Man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you could comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the reasons we have you in here, and there's many new faces in this room in comparison to the previous administrations. We want to welcome all viewpoints into this room. We welcome unbiased journalists who really care about the truth and the facts and the accuracy, and you rightfully pointed out the Maryland Man story, which I, from this podium, when The Atlantic published it, on that very first day, I came to this podium and said, this is wrong. The press in this room have this story wrong, and we have seen more and more evidence come to the table that we have had all along. We were always right. The president was always on the right side of this issue to deport this illegal criminal from our community. And it is despicable to see the media continue to refer to this individual as someone who is just a peaceful man living his life in Maryland. This was and always has been an illegal criminal, an MS-13 gang member, and a designated foreign terrorist. And the administration maintains our position to deport these individuals from our communities.
Wow. Tim Pool, awesome question. I respect you. As I said, I've watched you for a couple years actually. There was one video, one of your videos I posted a few months ago when you tore into this guy on January 6th. Who was that from anyway? Breitbart. Okay, that was Breitbart. I don't have a link in the description, but you can look them up. I downloaded that yesterday and I was like, I gotta post this, share this, because Tim Pool's the shit. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? He's a very smart individual, a lot smarter than me. Most people are. No genius, just saying. Anyway, that was awesome. Now, liberal media, social media, kind of all intertwined. Listen to jazzy, crock of shit, fake eyelashing wearing, wannabe ghetto, and Jim Jordan shut her down. Because trust me, if it was up to the Dems, the Democrats, the liberals, libturds, they'd control everything. They would censor everything. But check this out. This is awesome. Let me make sure I put the right video. Bwam!
I believe that it was ethically right for social media to check people because you had people that didn't know anything about science and decided that they were going to put out whatever lies or propaganda or conspiracy theories they wanted to. And people died. At some point in time, we have to evaluate what is factual. And I know that facts hurt y'all, and I just wish we could get on the same page, but we do know during the presidential election that the president would not go and participate in anything if fact-checking was going to be a part of it, because he didn't want to be fact-checked. We know that the vice president got upset in his vice presidential debate when he was fact-checked. It used to be a time in this country that we as members of Congress or elected officials thought that it was okay to just tell the truth. Instead, we're pushing conspiracy theories, and some of them are killing people. It's the same thing that we have coming out of Doge. It's the reason that people are dying. It's the reason that farmers are losing their farms, because we continue to peddle conspirity theories. It is time for us to say, Mr. President, guess what? Russia invaded Ukraine. Can we at least agree on that one? Facts matter.
I just wanted to make a point. We talked, the previous speaker talked about factual information. We've talked about fact checking. Fact checking. You know what fact checking is truly supposed to be in this country? The First Amendment. Not some expert who can sit on and look at posts and tweets and different things and say, oh, that's not factual, take it down. That's not how it works. Fact checking is the First Amendment. Someone says something stupid, and that happens every day in this Congress. Someone says something crazy, someone says something that's not quite true, not quite accurate. You know what the fact check is? Someone says something else, and you have debate. That's what we do in this committee every day. And this is the committee who's supposed to protect that fundamental fact. Real fact checking is the First Amendment. Our Supreme Court has been clear about that. You don't like certain speech, the best speech for wrong speech is more speech. The best speech for false speech is true speech. That's how it works. You have a debate and you trust we the people to figure it out, not some expert who's going to fact check every tweet, every post. And we saw this in the Biden administration. We're seeing it in Europe now. We're seeing it in Brazil. That was the first bill we dealt with from the gentleman from California, his good legislation that we all agreed on. We're going to work on and put a good bill on the floor. So that's the key. That's what and we know it happened because, again, we had the guy who runs one of the biggest companies in the world, most successful tech companies in the world, tell us it happened. We had on the third day of the Biden administration an email from the White House to Twitter saying, take down this tweet ASAP. The government telling a business to take down a tweet, and the tweet, ironically, was from RFK Jr., who was going to be running for president against the guy in the White House. So he was saying, take down the speech of my opponent. That's not how it's supposed to work in this country. That's what we're concerned about. That's why it's in our oversight plan. And if you want additional things to look at, again, put them in your viewpoints. We're happy to accept them. We'll take everything Mr. Raskin has said today, everything the gentlelady from Texas has said today. We'll take everything the Democrats said. You want to put all that in your plan? Put it in your plan. That's fine. That's how it works. But no, that's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Yo, you see the stuff I'm talking about? When conservatives speak, not only do they sound like they have common sense, but they don't attack. They just say how it is. It may seem like an attack because they're idiots, liberals, especially her, but they just say how it is. Common sense, First Amendment, free speech. You don't like it? Don't let Joe Schmo. I don't like it. Mostly liberals. Most of the fact checkers are fat ass, blue-haired, purple-haired, fucking nerds in front of a computer following orders. Sorry. I take my hat off. I'm starting to sweat here because I get all amped. Just saying. Anyway, Rachel Campos Duffy. Did I play this already? Crap. No, I didn't. More of this piece of shit that they took away, and hopefully they keep away. But watch this segment. If this doesn't give you some thought and common sense, I can't save you. Check this out. This is from Jesse Waters' show, I believe, last night.
Democrats are going out of their way to ignore the warning signs from experts at every chance they get. But maybe they'll listen to actual voters.
I am Hispanic, but I am a citizen, legal citizen, and I am disgusted and I am so angry with liberals going out of the country for this guy. And I don't understand. I mean, we have people here in prison. Why aren't they fighting for some here? I don't understand what they're trying to say to the Hispanic community. Like, are they trying to pick votes? Because that's not doing it, especially for people like us that we obey the law. I don't understand why are they doing this? It's not doing anything. It's just making us more angry.
Democrats have their heads buried in the sand. They're listening to the white socialist wing of their party and ignoring actual minorities. Remember, these are the same people that gave you Latinx or Latinx. They gave you open borders, and they flipped Starr County in Texas red for the first time in over 100 years. A county that shares a border with Mexico and has a 98% Hispanic population gave Democrats the boot because of how out of touch their policies are. Look, there are three categories of immigrants. There are the people who did it the right way. They applied, they waited patiently in line, and became legal citizens, like my mom. There are also the people who are here illegally. They're working hard, they're raising families, and they're staying out of trouble. And then there are the bad hombres, like Kilmar, who should be removed because they're affiliated with gangs and allegedly beat their wife. Hispanics, even the ones here illegally, don't relate to Kilmar and MS-13. I spoke to Gelacio Velasquez, a pro-Trump illegal immigrant on Fox Noticias, and he explained why he agrees with the president's policies.
Any loving father who wants a good future for his family, I want the United States to do well. I wanted to have an administration that fights for inflation to go down, for the economy to improve, to stop wars. With the exception that someone is proven to be guilty of crimes, a criminal, I absolutely agree that they should be returned to their country. And even if I committed crimes, well, have me deported.
Democrats want to put all of them in one bucket. And it's an insult to every Latino in the country, citizens and non-citizens. Immigrants don't see themselves in Kilmar. And every time Democrats try to paint them as equivalent, they lose more and more support. And most of the mainstream media is right there with the Democrats, fudging the narrative and not even hiding their bias. ABC, CBS, NBC, they all devoted 143 minutes to their favorite Maryland man. And I put that in quotes. And only 12 seconds to covering a true Marylander, Rachel Morin.
Yo, gang member, you're a piece of shit. It is what it is. Can't save you. Yeah, and as far as liberal media, social media, whatever it may be, halfway across the world, Raida Panahi, check this out.
Now, watch here as journalist Natalie Winters well and truly puts this CNN hack in his place when he questions whether Natalie is a real journalist.
To the people, and I'm sure you see this online every single day, who say you don't deserve to be here because you're not a real journalist. Response to them.
Well,
Boom! As of recently, especially after COVID and all the blocking and censoring and deleting or whatever, it's coming out. Social media, pros and cons. It's starting to be more pros than cons because the right people are in place. It is what it is. In America, it's waking up. Just saying. I woke up. I used to have TDS. Yeah, it is what it is. Let me see. Where am I? What video am I sharing now? Okay. Benny Johnson. He posted this. This is random shit. I have a few other videos, but I do have to get
scene where she's looking like retarded and putting her into scenes of Hollywood movies where
why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey and I kiss it on the lips.
I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
I ain't got a good brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy.
That's a good question. What happens is that the center has the ball first, and quarterback will say hike. That's when the center puts the ball into the hands of the quarterback. So what I'll do is I'll start tackling the quarterback unless he give the ball to somebody else, in which case I'll try to tackle that person.
Special Officer Doofy.
Oh, hi, Doofy. Doofy, listen, is there a problem on campus?
No comment.
Okay.
No comment.
Okay.
You know, you look awfully young to be a police officer.
You know, I'm 25 and a half years old.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just Manny.
So big.
Yeah, he's big.
Well, you don't look a day over 12.
Yeah.
Except for the big head and glazed over look in your eyes. Ooh, is that true?
Yeah, I forgot to swallow.
Alright, honestly, honorable mention, whatever. I don't care about honorable mentions, whatever, they weren't funny. Yeah, Rachel Zegler. A movie I will never watch. Ever. You can't have my corpse watch it after I'm dead. Just saying. It is what it is. So, where are we? Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? There were a couple of videos, but the important ones I played. So, more random shit. Creator Warp, Pelosi. Check this out. You're gonna love this. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, they're just crazy. Check it out. Creator Warp. Link in the description.
Good morning, everyone, and I want to thank Lord Poston for.
Wow.
For Arcadio Produce for hosting us today.
What the hell was that?
Nancy the Nipper, she's ruthless and sly, with her dentures rattling and a gleam in her eye. She kicked Joe out with her old friend Chuck. Nancy the Nipper, she don't give a f.
Well, the Nipper has officially outdone herself in this one, Patriots. She showed up at a produce distributor yesterday morning because apparently her supply of fresh fruit for the wet bar at home was all tapped out from her morning festivities. Then she went on and rambled incoherently for over 20 minutes, and you're not going to believe what came out of her mouth. Be sure you hit that like button and subscribe. We put a smile on your face, and let's get on with the show.
Make no mistake, President Blunt's senseless tariffs.
Who the hell is that?
Imagine Ronald Reagan, the great communitor, the largest tax hike on American families in history. When he made his first vote for President of the United States as a young person, he voted for Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who overturned the smooth Harley. I just thought I'd throw that part out.
She's a drunk.
Hands off on Medicaid.
Okay.
Oh, now, he and then George Herbert Walker Bush on lowering the cost to stand united against his reckless, even to come to talk about food. And food. He starts out, you'll Google it, I won't do the whole speech. You'll Google it, but then the flowers. Manny.
She is crazy.
First of all, many of our small business people are from immigrant communities. That's okay, I'll do that later.
Such a liar.
That deserved a moment of silence. Because if that didn't kill, murder, slay her political career, then these people deserve her. Just saying. Wow. All right, more random shit, and I can't end the day. The video with a trailer. Guardians of the Galaxy. Who's into Marvel? This is actually one of the best Marvel movies. I've mentioned Captain America and all this stuff. But the music, as I said, there's a couple of coworkers older that watch certain movies here and there, but they've never watched this one. One of them is a kind of a musician, and I'm sure he would enjoy the whole soundtrack of this movie. So if he's watching, which he's probably not, because nobody really watches me, just saying. Yeah, I got too much energy. Let's drink more coffee. My favorite cup. Anyway, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the best. Honestly, when I first saw the trailer to this movie, or when I heard about it, I saw pictures, this and that. I like Chris Pratt, and I was like, this looks corny. That's a corny, it looks. I probably never watched this. Then I saw the trailer, and I was like,
problem. No problem at all.
Who are you?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
We arrested these 5 on Xandar. Check out the rap sheets. Drax, aka the Destroyer. Since his wife and family were killed, he's been on a rampage across the galaxy in his search for vengeance. Gamora, soldier, assassin, wanted on over a dozen counts of murder. Rocket, wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup. What the hell? Groot has been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle. Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that? Himself, mostly.
He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked. Hey, that's mine. You son of a... Hey, take those headphones off right now!
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Now, because of the music, ScrewTube is probably gonna mute part of it, even though the trailer's everywhere. Not by the studio, it's... Yes, I'm a little insane. The 3 jobs just got me out there, you know what I'm saying? My mind is out there. But anyway, I hope you got a little giggle out of my videos. Please comment, please share, please like, please subscribe. This will get better soon, hopefully. I'm just happy I got my car back, even though it broke the shit out of me because it was pretty expensive to fix. Things are hard. And my computer, like I said, as soon as that gets that rolling, this will get better. Again, thank you, love you. Stay true to the red, white, and blue. You guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, no politics at all. Tomorrow, I want to talk about the multiverse. There are 3 or 4 movies. Yes, some of them are Marvel. One isn't. And then a show. There's a show my wife and I watched that I want to talk about tomorrow. It is probably the most, what if the multiverse is real? This may be a way that it could happen. I'm just saying, it's. I hope they have season 2 to it, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. The multiverse. See you guys later. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Oh, still here. Laters.
You live here? Yes. Or maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring. You mean like Democrats?
It's walking!